with us. So
Yeah,
no matter if
we're
you
going to
like it or
have your
not.
code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
Right. I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
Well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. Right. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free.
Right.
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain X, 3 YouTube channels streaming to over 10,500 subscribers. If you want to become a new subscriber, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell on the way in, always helps, and share the channel around when you're on your social media, things like that. It's always good. Now we'll be covering Pulsechain, what's hot and what's not. Now this is a day you get to shill only once. You get to shill what you like on the chain. Make sure there's no scams. They will get deleted by the mods. And of course, feel free to shill something that you like that's hot or not. Let us know in the chat. And of course, don't shill twice or 3 times, but just once will do fine. So get in there, folks, if you want to shill. If you're watching after the video, leave your comments there, and I'll reply to those as well. Now, obviously, any scams will be deleted, obvious scams. So get in there. Post in your one. Don't repeat yourself, of course. Get in there and do it one off. Whatever you like is your favorite. What's hot or what's not. What you don't like, you can put one of those in as well. Now we've got Life Beneath in the house there. Hello, how are you today? Very good. And of course, Pulsex and the Cent token for the 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy for this channel. So definitely, at least on Hex Token. So definitely get into that. We got Hexcavator in the house. So, hey gang, good to see Hexcavator. Big shout out to you. Crypto Dan as well. Hey guys, hope everyone is good. Hope you're doing well too, Crypto Dan. I think we've actually had daylight savings rollover. I don't even know what time of the day it is today. It was 3 o'clock this morning, I believe. So we've changed by an hour. I'm presuming the actual clocks have changed, so I might have to check that out the live stream just to make sure I'm on the right hour of the day. I have no idea what time it is. In terms of, it's either 1 hour back, or I think it's 1 hour back or something like that. We will see. We will see whether my clocks are showing me the real time. We got Tintop's in the house there. What's up, Xskins? Good to see you, Tintop. We got Japon as well. Good morning, Japon. Big shout out to you. Maxi Kobe in the house, I should say. And of course, like that little hand there, 5 times. 5 times right. Crypto Dan's in the house. He's in first. Man, Crypto Dan was in early. P-Die is hot. P-Die is hot, says Crypto Dan. I'm presuming that's hot with the rockets. So P-Die. We got ISO in the house there. What's good? Hey, good to see ISO. Welcome to the chat. Really good to see some new faces in the house. And of course, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button on the way in. And our Discord, the link to Discord's in the video description. Become part of our community. It's amazing in there. We've got some good friends in there. We talk about good intel, good crypto, and good socials as well. So get in there on that. The link's in the video description. Maxi says Solid X backed by Firewhale all up, says Maxi. Yeah, Solid X is definitely doing well. That's another one of Randy Alasky's, I think, and maybe another influencer with them in that one. Firewhale is up. Yeah, Fire. So it looks like Crispy Man, we're going to talk about that today. Crispy Man's got his own token just launched and a website refresh for Crispy Man and his Fire token. So we're going to check that out. It's only just launched a couple of hours ago. So we'll check that out. Crypto Dan says it's 1 a.m. in the UK, so a bit later than your usual live time. Is it a bit later? So it's normally, is it 12 o'clock, Crypto Dan? Maybe it is. Maybe it's 12 o'clock. So just unfortunately, daylight savings moves around. I have no idea. I'll double check for tomorrow. I just sort of just went live, and I went half an hour early today. Just to I don't know why. Just did. Brian's in house there, folks. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Welcome to the chat. Our awesome community leader in the house. Tomba says Solid X going to be the store of value on Pulse. Going crazy so far. It has done. It's blown some people's minds. Is the old Solid X. We saw it in the Discord when we were watching. Flash crashed to $2, and yeah, people in the Discord could have got it. Some picked it up. At least we know one person did. So some mad gains there, right there. Huge numbers. Crypto says sometimes 11:30, sometimes 12:30. Yeah. Hey, look, I've got to check after the live stream. I'll see actually what the New Zealand time is at the moment. Someone can let me know if you want in the chat there. New Zealand NZT. I think it is NZT is the time ticker. Morning, Suitman family from Brennan. A big shout out to Brennan. Brennan made a good call 3 days ago. He's been absolutely riding the wave. So well done to you, Brennan. A big shout out. Tin Top as well. I have to shout out the Spark Swap Bridge. Helps me get my dirty fiat into Pulsechain cheap using Arbitrum, easy and fast. Nice one there, Tin Top. That is a really good highlight there, the Spark Swap Bridge. Definitely one of your ways of on-ramping on Pulsechain, nice and cheap and fast. Yeah, always check, of course, when any on-ramp that you're getting a good deal. Apart from that, yeah, really good on the Swap Spark Bridge there. All right, looking good. Let's move on. Let's get into it, folks. Let's get into I wasn't live streaming yesterday. I took a day off, but we're just going to quickly cover what the results were for Friday on the stock market, and then we're going to get straight into crypto. So let's have a look at this. So this was the results we had. Let me zoom in on this a bit here to see what the results were. It looks like we had the S&P 500. The Dow Jones was up 0.8%, 307 points. It looks like it doesn't have the close on here, but where's the last year? 38. Oh, there it is. 38,904 for the Dow Jones. S&P 500 went up 1.1%. So nice green day. Another one actually in the stock market for Friday. I think Thursday, Friday. We're both green and up 57 points to 5,204. The NASDAQ up 1.2% to 16,248. So pretty cool there. I don't know if we got the US dollar there. Now let's go to the stocks. Have a quick look at the stocks. No, we won't go to stocks. Where are we going? We're going to commodities. Let's go to commodities. We got gold up 1.7%. Up, was that $40? Up to 2,349. So gold is moving up. And of course, silver there up 1.3%. 35 cents up to $27.60. So some power moves going on with gold and silver at the moment. Let's have a look at Brent oil. West Texas oil up 0.16%, 14 cents to $86.73. Brent oil up 0.23%, 21 cents to $90.86. So those are pretty much the commodities there. So we're going to move on from that. That's pretty much it on the Friday. So Friday was pretty green on the stock market. And of course, let's have a look at BTC. Woo-hoo-hoo! Man, we got Bitcoin powering back up, $69,165. I know a certain person in the Discord that'll be pretty happy with that. Up 1.72%. Bitcoin dominance is stronger though. 51.85% is BTC over the rest of the crypto. We've got Ethereum at the moment, 3,367. Just sort of hanging around there, 1.2%. Still has got, what did it get up to? About, 4,100 or something like that. So still hasn't got to its all-time high of 4,900. So still a lot of road to go on the Ethereum journey in this bull market. We can see that we've got a few movers there. We've got AVAX is up. AVAX is up 6.5% to $48.30. What else is looking pretty good there? We've got the meme coins. We've got Dodge standing out up 5% at 18.6 cents. So some big movers there. WIF is also up 9% to $3.52. What else is looking interesting there? AR there. AR. What's Arbitrum there? Up 5.89% to $33.57. That's not Arbitrum, is it? It's AR. Arbitrum's over here. It's Arbitrum. Up 3.97% to $1.49. There we are. We don't want to get that mischaracterized. And cash, man, this cash thing, man, has it just been bullish for the last 18 months or so? This cash, man, is up 8.83%, 14.1 cents is the old cash there. And I don't normally cover that much, but that's been pretty much the power perform over the last 18 months for sure. Let's jump into BCC and have a look at the actual charts here on Coinbase. And man, looking really good, isn't it? This yellow line is the 50 EMA. And what's it sitting at the moment? 63,759. So 63,759 is the 50 EMA. And of course, back here, we've got the 200 EMA at 48,475. But the current price range is looking spectacular. Looks like we crossed over to a new day. I think we may have. And of course, here it is. Yesterday's day, we got a low of 68,846, a high of 69,000. And we're currently at the top of that range, 69,000 there. Looks like we just crossed over the new day. So I guess we have had that daylight savings mix up or mesh up there. And of course, you guys know we're getting closer to the Bitcoin halving. What is it? Block 840,000. We're less than 2,000 blocks away. Can you believe it? Less than 2,000 blocks away so we must be at what, 838,000 something. But look at that. We're 12 days away from glory. Woohoo! Maybe including today, we've got 13. We're getting closer and closer, far less than 2 weeks to 12, 13 days away from the Bitcoin halving. How about that? Looking awesome. It's going to be fun to see that play out. All right, so we have got some news. Why did Bitcoin pumpity pump? Well, interesting enough, Genesis, which had been dragging on Bitcoin, with the old ETF there, the GBTC, Genesis completes redemption of GBTC shares. Buys 32,000 Bitcoins with the proceeds. Yay! So there's some bullish thing out the other side. The company in February got permission from the New York bankruptcy court to sell approximately 36 million shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And there we go. Genesis has sold its shares in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and used the proceeds to buy 32,000 Bitcoins. Bitcoins are worth $2.2 billion at today's prices. Bankrupt crypto lender Genesis has completed the sale of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares and used the proceeds to purchase 32,000, and it was pretty bullish there from that. Let me just get rid of that little video. The sale of GBTC shares was completed on April the 2nd. On February the 15th, Genesis received permission from New York bankruptcy to do so. And that's pretty much it on that news story. So some pretty cool stuff there happening with the Bitcoin. And yeah, man, 12, 13 days away. It's unbelievable. We've waited so long for it, and now it's finally here. Now, we've also got some price predictions here from, we've always often talked about our good old, Pompliano. We've had Pompliano on a bit there. We've had, other people in the crypto like Larry Fink. From BlackRock. We've had videos from that, but we've got one from Scaramucci, who's a bit of I don't know. I used to like him and then I didn't like him. So, but anyway, we're going to listen to him and see what he's got to say about Bitcoin moving forward.
Why? What are all the reasons you think?
Well, I mean, I think the ETF was a big reason. I think the regulatory hurdle where the United States government is now allowing a QSIP to be attached to Bitcoin is a big reason. And I think Wall Street as well as anybody. When Wall Street gets a product like this, it's like a selling machine, and it's generating lots of demand for the product. And I think we're surprised that there's over $10 billion in the first quarter of new flows for something like Bitcoin.
Why? Why are you surprised?
Well, it took a year for GLD, the gold ETF, to get to $10 billion. And so this did it in 25% of the time. And, not to bore everybody, but the network spits out about 900 coins a day. That's going to get cut in half probably April 20th or so. And so you're going down to 450 coins, and you probably have 2,000 to 3,000 coins of base demand at a time when the supply is going to get cut. So they said earlier that Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, the ETF was priced in. They're now saying that the halving is priced in. I don't believe that either. I think Bitcoin has a lot more to go here.
What do you think of hedges against inflation, interest rates? I've heard some people cite currency devaluations around the world playing a significant role as well. How would you assess that?
I see Bitcoin still as a technical asset that's still adopting. It's about a 6% global adoption in terms of world's population. That puts it around 1998 for Web 1, just to give you the arc of it. So I don't see it that way, that there's a big currency issue. I don't think it becomes a Bitcoin standard, but I do think it becomes a digital store of value akin to gold. And so what's at issue for everybody right now, where should that trade to if we're in price discovery mode? I'm just simply saying it could trade to half of the valuation of gold, which is a 6 to 8, 10 times move from here. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to come with great volatility. but I want investors that are in SkyBridge and know us to be a part of this story.
Do you think it's correlated still somewhat to, either risk assets broadly, speculative assets?
Yeah.
And if you do, does it ever divorce itself from that? In other words, if there's a sizable pullback in the NASDAQ and the momentum trade, does that go along with it?
Right. So it seems like it's sort of decoupling a little bit. Yesterday, the market was weak. Bitcoin was strong. There's a little bit of a decoupling. You mentioned the inflation issue. Let's just point this out to the viewers. The U.S. dollar's lost about 22% of its value since January of 2020. Bitcoin's gone up 8 to 1. Now you can say, okay, well, Anthony, you're dot plotting. You're picking a high dot for Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin drops 50% due to its volatility. But I think the arc of it is an inflation hedge. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a short-term inflation hedge. But if you own Bitcoin, anybody that's owned Bitcoin in a rolling 4-year period of time, they've actually done well, Scott. They've never lost money if they're able to hold on to it for periods like that.
All right, so that is from the Scaramucci there. Pretty interesting looking video. Kind of cool. We've got a couple more comments in the chat before we get into Ethereum. We got Brian's pretty excited today. Good to see. Woohoo! Yeah, good old Bitcoin up on the outside. Tilly for really greetings, Earthlings. Good to see you as well. Yeah, some of the alien coins. We've got at least 3 projects with alien themes, and they're all pretty good too. We got Refined in the house there. Good to see Refined. Tim Tot says 2,000 blocks on the wall. 2,000 blocks. You take one down, wait half an hour. 199 blocks on the wall, says Tim Tot. Yeah, and Tim Tot says, Brian, still 10-minute procs, just 3 confirmations till I receive my Bitcoin, says Tim Tot. Indeed. Now, Brian says half an hour. Or did the clocks change? Yeah, daylight savings has happened this morning, I think at 3 o'clock. Now, it does appear that it is 12:15 p.m. at the moment, which means that normally I would start the live stream at 12:30, but I started half an hour early. So we've been going for 17 minutes already. So there we go. I did it by instinct, and it's not too bad, I think. Not too bad. Sort of an adjustment there for daylight savings. All right, let's get back into it. We're going to get into Ethereum, and let's go to Ethereum next. Here we go, and Ethereum. All right, so Ethereum here got back over the 50-day moving average. Woohoo! Bullish. That is really bullish. And so here we are. We're back. 50-day moving average at 5,338. 200 moving average at 2,646. And here we are at 3,356 there, about $18 above the moving average. So not bad there at all. We're miles away from the Deacon upgrade too. I mean, it's been a while now. It looked like we were coming up to that. Well, we 25 days, almost a month after the Deacon upgrade. Man, it just felt like we just got there. Things are moving along, racing along here for the old crypto. Now, obviously, Ethereum's going to benefit pretty bigly too from the Bitcoin halving, which is 12 to 13 days away here. Let's say 12 for argument's sake. And of course, then the Ethereum ETF's 45 days away. But we're still sitting at about 25% chance of that being successful, unlike the 90% chance we had for the Bitcoin ETFs back on the 10th of January. The likely interest rate pivot, the earliest you might see it is on the 11th of June, and that's 64 days away, but we're probably going to slip into July, definitely a reasonable chance. So 60% chance of interest rate pivot there in June, 70% plus, I think it was last time I checked, for July. So there we go. I will double check those when we have a look on tomorrow, maybe, or the next day we live stream. So there we are. That's for Ethereum. Let's jump over to GoPulse. And of course, day 330. Yeah, boy, 330. It's almost, that's kind of quasi. If you had the 30 days, it's kind of 11 months, isn't it? 30 days based on 30-day month. We're sitting at Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0974. 3% below the mean sacrifice price, so definitely a good buying zone. Nothing's changed with my commentary the last couple of days. That's still been the case. Yesterday you would have got an even better deal before it had a little mini pump, but it's up 1.85% at the moment. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0382. This is still well below the mean sacrifice price, 38%, and so there's lots of potential upside. We already have hit that mean sacrifice price, so that's a good indicator that we'll go back up there again. So pretty much if you're patient, easy money, easy jam, as they say, 3% today. And the buy and burn is continuing to impress. 787.2 billion Pulsex has been bought up and burned And you guys know how it rolls. Pulsex is the casino house. You own the casino house if you own Pulsex. Everything trading on Pulsex is benefiting the buy and burn. Woohoo! Buys up Pulsex and burns it. It's part of that special secret sauce of the Pulsex and Pulsechain combo. Pretty awesome. And 3.87% of the public supply. It's nothing to sneeze at. And of course, on top of that, we've got Power City Earn Protocol also taking off even more Pulsex off the market, which is pretty cool to see. Now, incentive token at the moment is $4.68, up 2.71%. The ratio, importantly, is 48,000 Pulse. And the supply at the moment, 28.4 million incentive tokens. And we are expecting probably in about a month or so, just over a month, to get some emission reduction in the farms. So we'll have keep an eye out on what those farm factors are. But we'll keep abreast of that. And of course, there we go. Now, PHEX at the moment is at 1 cent. Woohoo! We're back up 1 cent. Yeah, power move from PHEX. It's actually the best performer today. Yay! You can't keep a good hex down, right? Can't keep a good hex down. Up 4.34%, and EHEX there is at 0.17 of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX at 1.17 cents. So a lot of room to move to the upside. And you guys know, I think once we get over 3 cents, it's going to be goodbye Hexicans. That means all those ones that sold out of their bags going to be goodbye. And yeah, we'll wait for that day. Can't be coming away too far. Maybe May is the time. May is the time there. There'll be one year to shake out weekends, all that good stuff. And of course, about 3 weeks or so after the Bitcoin halving. Seems pretty good timing to me. Maybe the Magic Carpet Ride really starts to accelerate then. So that's pretty much it. Now there is news. Let me put it this way: there is talk of the town about upgrades coming to Pulsechain. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, good times, good times. All right, let's jump in to have a look at the charts on Pulsechain. We can see here that the RSI is definitely in the almost oversold territory. It's definitely down pretty low, around 34. So a lot of upside here, and we have been able to defend this key line here. And of course, we see that we did come down to 9,000 earlier for Pulsechain. We have managed to defend that at the moment, and let's see if we can rally off from there rather than go down and test that one more time. And so far, so good, right? And you can see we have had sort of a zone of support and resistance in here. So fingers crossed that plays out. So far, so good. Pulsex, of course, let's jump to Pulsex. Pretty similar story. The RSI down, 35, 36, a little bit stronger, but the same kind of story here at the moment with Pulsex. Let's jump over to incentive token, have a look at the ratio. And we can see that we're at 48,000 on the ratio. Let's have a look at the daily, 48,000. And yeah, we had a bit of a wick down yesterday to 45. So if you pick that up, congratulations. We're at 48,000 at the moment. Like I say, we've got resistance at 61,000. And if we break through that, then 71,000 is the next resistance line there. That's where we are at the moment. I'm sure that's going to come back sooner than later, particularly in, as we come up to any sort of emission reduction there. PHEX, of course, is the better performer, 4.2%. RSI is also down pretty low, not quite as low though, 37. And let's see where we go from here. Has managed to defend this kind of zone, which we have had resistance in here before, right? And back here as well. So this does look like a pretty good place to defend. And it pretty much has gone where we thought it would over the last 5 days or so, whatever the commentary was. We talked about all these charts. EHEX, of course, EHEX is going to do probably better than a lot of people expect, especially now that BankX is over at the V3 for Omnis. And here we are, free to do a lot more, at least up to 3.2 cents. So we're only currently far miles away from that. So yeah, here at 17th hundredth of a penny. And of course, well oversold here. So I think there's quite a lot of upside on EHEX. Yes, you heard it here. But there we go. And at least up to 3.2 cents, right? At least up to that point, which is plenty of mucho grandes for people to get hold of. And Gwei at the moment on Ethereum is super cheap, right? So we're going to talk about that. Before we do that, let's get into the combined price of EHEX and PHEX. And as you guys know, I think once we get to 3 cents, we have failed to do that so far. But once we do, I think it's off to the races, and people that haven't got their positions will probably regret it. But hey, that's this life. People have had plenty of time to pull up their bags, to build up their bags, and they're going to have a bit more time yet. I think at least probably 4 to 6 weeks, let's say. So here we are at the moment. That is the play. let me say 2 to 6 weeks. Could happen any time in that time. 2 to 6 weeks, let's say. Maybe 2 to 5, actually, is probably the better way of putting it. I shouldn't be so lazy with my commentary there. We had 1.175 cents, and they were at the bottom of the range. This is where we want to bust out. We failed pretty much 1, 2, 3 times. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Bob the Builder agrees. So watch out for PHEX, EHEX combo price up in the way. All right, let us get back into some of the gas prices of Pulsechain for the end of the day, day 330. Crazy. All right, so here we are at, what do we got here? Beats 583,000 beats, so probably about 2.5 times normal the beat rate there. So we're at 2 cents for a PulseX swap, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 4/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. And let's have a look at the prices here. So Gwei at the moment on Ethereum is super low. So if you're doing any end stakes or anything like that, today is the day. 11 Gwei. You're going to get a much cheaper in-stake price there with 11 Gwei. 651 times cheaper than Ethereum, though still, regardless of being 11 Gwei, but still 651 times cheaper than Ethereum. And, of course, a PulseX swap at the moment, 2 cents, even though it's 2.5 times normal, is still better than $13 or so. Maybe you'll get that slightly less on the Ethereum, but that is kind of the indicator price. All right, let's go to validators. For day 330, 49,352 with 5 validators entering. So that's kind of cool. 1.58 trillion is staked with validators. And of course, David Fetters of validatorstore.com is 60% of all validators. That's gone even up and up, which is pretty amazing. Congratulations to him. And, check him out if you want to become a validator. He's got some cool website for that, David Fetter, and he's on YouTube as well. It's also in our Discord, member of our Discord, so check him out. All right, let's go to the heart and soul of Pulsechain, the bridge. We've got 123. It's not quite, but it's kind of. We've got the health check. I call it health check. $123.8 million over on a Pulsechain bridged over. DAI looks pretty similar to what I saw the other day. 40.6 million USDC at 24.5, 15.4 million USD tether. In terms of ETH, $29.2 million of ETH, $2.3 million of wrapped Bitcoin. In terms of native stablecoins, we've got $4 million of Coast. Now, Coast is very close to relaunching, and they're going to be bigger and more badass than ever with something like up to 10 different financial agencies. So that's going to be huge rather than one single point of failure. They'll have 10 single points of failure, which is a lot better. All right, so we got USDL at 17.1 million and a PXDC there at 7.7 million at the moment. So that's not too bad as all. So let's add that up a bit. 21, 28, that's $29 million of native stablecoins. Not bad. And of course, I'm going to be talking about PUSD algo later on, which I just can't wait for. Come on, Jacob. We're going to talk about that. It could be a ginormous algorithmic stablecoin, could be massive for Pulsechain. I think he should be pulling it forward, but we will see what happens there. All right, that is the day for day 330. Let's get into some of the chats and some of the charts. Before we do that, what's hot and what's not, we're going to cover that next. Let's get back in the chat and say hello to a few people here on Daylight Savings Changes. We got Mo in house says, Mo says PZen. Yeah, PZen pump big time. We covered that, I think, 2 days ago. I think we were actually live then. $50,000 came in and pumped PZen, and it's still going up. So still holding up there. And, of course, why is it happening? Well, there's the pool party coming up. There's X1 chain. There's a lot of other things associated with DBZen and the Q protocol, as well as NXD protocol as well. So there's lots of things happening in the old Zen space, and that's probably why PZen's pumping as well. Watch out. Lai says mucho grande. Yeah, that's right. There's lots of mucho grandes. That's about as much as I can get into that. Is that Mexican or Spanish? I don't know. Is it the same? I don't know. That's how ignorant we are down here, down under of these sort of things. So let's go back up and check out some of the tokens. Let me know in the chat there. What do you think is hot at the moment? What do you think is not? Let me know in the chat there. Don't spam the chat, but just let me know. Single numbers there, single numbers. All right, let's see here. Right, so we're going to start off with the derivatives. Cozy Hedron here. I haven't got the Maximus ones up yet. I still haven't gone around to do that, but I'll get there. We've got Icosa at the moment up 2.7%. Hedron up 5.2% on a Pulsechain. On the Ethereum side, Hedron's pretty flat, and Icosa is down 7.75% there. Let's go to influencer coins. on the old Pulsechain. Let me know if I'm missing any of the influencer coins on the chat, by the way. If I'm missing any, but I've got Randy Alaski's Note Token. That is up 12.3%, so looking really, really good. And of course, that is at 3200th of a penny, just about. And of course, Access Alive there is up 5% at $21,432. We got Paul Pleb is up 5.8%. That's Hexy Bastards, Paul Pleb, and that's 50 is 2,400. We got more token from Trevon, is actually down 2.65%. Ben is Bitboy, Ben Armstrong. This is the V1, of course. He's talked about bring V2 over to Pulsechain. This is the copied one V1, and that is up 0.5% there. 90 is 5,700. I don't know if he talks too much about that one, but definitely V2 he probably will when he brings it over. He's been hanging out with a lot of the big American influencers. I know that much. And 420. My Life is Awesome has launched this 420, and it's up 494%. And of course, that is sitting at 34 cents for 420. It is, and that's My Life is Awesome launched this coin yesterday, I believe. So that's pretty cool. In fact, we've got another one here. Let's go find that because we've got Crispy Man Fire, and he's just launched his own one as well. So let's add that in, and that is Fire Token. I believe that he's actually launched it officially. So let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, that's up at quadruple 01158 there. So I do believe that we'll have to double check that he's, I think, pretty sure he has launched that though. It's linking into all his websites, so they're pretty cool with that one. All right, so we got more and more influencers. Now, someone put out a prediction that probably a third of the Pulsechain Hex influencers that are, more or less dedicated to some degree with Richard Hart ecosystem would have launched their own own coins over the course of the bull market. And here we are early on, and we've got tons of influencers coming out with their own coins. But it's fun. It's fun. That's what crypto's about. It's about fun and making activity. So you can't be too worried about that. All right, let's jump over into what's the next one we're going to? P-Memes. Now, I haven't finished this off. I've only just started rebuilding this, but I got Pippi. I got Pippi here. Somehow reason I got Pippi and cookies. I don't know why. I got Pippi cookies, and we've got the price is up by 9.6%. SHIB is up 5.5% at the moment. And, of course, there's so many other meme coins jumping on the board. I think some of these big copies kind of being relatively ignored. Let's have a quick look at the SHIB one here, just to see what that looks like on the daily. And you can see it's kind of getting relatively ignored because of all these other coins that are being launched, particularly by Pulsechain influencers. So that's kind of what's hot. Influencer coins seem to be hot. And let's have a look at the next thing that's been hot over the weekend is stable coins. You guys know it, the copies. I'm not talking about the bridge and stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that is they're not yet true stables, but they've been rallying hardcore. And of course, PDI there making a huge milestone yesterday. Let's check that out. Let me know. I know someone put in the chat that PDI was hot, and definitely has been hot. Pretty amazing. Let's go full DGM mode on this. We're going to go to the hour. I've got on the 4 hourly. Let's go to the daily and have a check out. Look at this thing, man. Woo! And it got up to the top here. Let's have a look at that. That was yesterday, and it got all the way up to 9.168. So let me rephrase that. Just under 9200th of a penny. Or not, just over 9/10 of a penny. So almost 1 cent. And I've been saying this for ages, right? Saying this thing is heading for a cent. It's kind of a no-brainer. When it gets to 1 cent, well, what's going to happen there? Probably some profit taking. But then what the next narrative is, it goes to, the narrative moves into stablecoin territory because people will start to believe, well, if it did 1 cent, can it do 10 cents? And we all often know when you've got the momentum on your side, that you can, rally up faster to the 10 cents from the 1 cent. We saw that with Hex, right, to some degree. Remember, Hex got stuck around that 1 cent mark, then got stuck around 2-3 cents back in the last bull market. And then once it broke that, it just went off to the races, right? 10 cents, 20 cents. It all started to fall right the way up to, 52 cents, give or take, depending on which charts you're looking at. Which is pretty amazing. So, yeah, can it get to $1? But of course, it's going to be fun to see. Definitely 1 cent on target, very close. I think just another move, maybe 1 cent. Now, looking at the RSI is hot. So we are quite overbought, 2077. So can it do it this time around? May need to cool off a little bit. We shall see there, but definitely, a relative warning there about that. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly is pretty hot as well. Look at that green candle for the weekly. And it's definitely overheated there at 79. So maybe it does need a bit of a cool off here at the 1 cent mark. So maybe it's run out of runway for the time being. I suggest that it's probably going to have at least another try, is my guess, at the 1 cent mark, and then maybe it needs time to cool off for the RSI just to chill. But sometimes RSIs can stay, elevated under circumstances. So we'll see what happens there. But definitely caution at the moment. Once the RSI gets overheated, you've got to have a bit of caution there. So that is that on the stables. So they've been pretty hot. So we've had influencer coins have been pretty hot. And let's jump over to, I don't know if I've done my top PRCs. No, I haven't built this out yet, so still got a lot of work to build out. And let me get around to it. Let's go to all tokens. We're going to go to all tokens, and we're going to sort by 24 hours. And what is hot? Well, we got tons of meme kind of coins launching, one after another. Influencers are in there. Those big, the people like what Moon King and all the others. They're probably launching tokens. Lots of people launching tokens. And of course, there we go. Now we got this new one here. Excuse my French. Descartes has come out. This just come out of nowhere, dudes. And there we go. 32. It's up 344%. We got Finfire here. That's just come out as well. Every cat and dog's launching their tokens, trying to catch that FOMO wave of meme coins at the moment. Because stable coins are hot, meme coins have been hot. Some of the influencer coins have been hot. And that's just the way it's going at the moment. So very speculative feeling and zone in the old Pulsechain. Now remember that if you're holding those tokens and everybody decides to flick back into Richard Hart tokens, you could get caught out. Now some of them may continue to rise with their RH tokens, but many of them may fall as everyone funnels back into Richard Hart gold and cryptos. So just be careful out there with these kind of strategies. So we're up 56% on this, let's call it DWB token. So these kind of the leaders at the moment. CRR there, up 41%. Now this is Hexify. We did talk about that one, the latest influencer coin, and that is up 40% at the moment. And a lot of people are trying to jump on these, right? Get on early, flick some little profits, get into the next thing, flick again, next thing, flick again. So that people are trying to do those sort of plays. You do have to be careful every so often some of these contracts, and we may get more of them in the future where you can buy but you can't sell. So you got to be careful out there with some of these. Obviously, there is some safety guards here, whether it's a verified contract and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, just be careful. Let's have a look at Hexify's one just quickly while we're here. As I said, it's just launched. I haven't confirmed that it's his yet at the moment, but it's all green candles at the stage. Got to wait for some red candle in there. But of course, there's not a lot in it at the moment for that sort of profit. And what does it say about the contract here? On the deck screen, it says no intels, ownership are renounced, it says here. You got to double check that these are correct, but that's what it's saying there. Honeypot, no, etc. And of course, if you go to the Twitter handle, you probably see Hexfire there. And you can find out, looks like this is Crispy Man's one. Got to double check, of course, but it does look like that. I actually thought I was following Crispy Man, so I'm a little bit, maybe I'm not here. Let's see. But you've got some of his posts in here as well. Maybe he did a video on it. I do not know, but that is sort of the thing that's going on at the moment. So I wish him well. Hexify has made a huge contribution to the Hex community and does, as a daily or weekly live streams, definitely does well there. Also on Matty Allen's was it DeFi Alpha type of YouTubing as well. Right, so that is that on that. So these are kind of the leads at the moment. Solid X. Let's have a look at Solid X, and we're gonna have a look at Hard. Was it Die Hard? That's also launched and done extremely well. Let's have a look at Die Hard, and let's have a look on the daily on Die Hard. That's doing pretty well. There's 3 days in a row, and look at that. Wow, what was the open? The open was 20. Let's say 3/10 of a penny was the opening price on day one. It has got to 86 cents. Can you believe it? So from 3/10 of a penny to 86 cents. Isn't that incredible? So let's do the math on that. It's 86 divided by 0.3. That is 286x on the opening price. Not bad, eh? Not bad. That is Die Hard there. And of course, what does it say here on the quick stuff? Transfer pausable. Yes, it says. That's got to be a bit of a warning potentially. Buy tax 10%, sell tax 10%. Has a whitelist, yes, so that's not too bad. Those bottom two, transferable. Whether trading can be paused by the token contract, that's a bit of alarming, isn't it? So be careful out there. All right, what else is in the play? We're going to talk about SolidX. And I think SolidX was the first launch on the 9-inch launch pad, if I'm right. Is that right? I think so. I saw something like that. So let's jump into SolidX and have a quick look at this. Look at this thing go. Woo! Hot dog and a dog. And I did think I see Abit comment about this, SolidX. And of course, is this the Randy Alaski's? I think it is. Randy Alaski's one as well. So we got the opening price was 1/10 of a penny, and the current price is $44.96. That's insano in the braino. So I'm doing some amazing stuff there. 1/10 of a penny, so that's going to be pretty awesome. So $44.9 dollars. That is amazing. Divided by 0.0. What did I say? 1/10. 0.1. Let's go to that. That's what, the 44,900 Hex. That's pretty massive. So anyway, most people would have got this up here at $44.90. And yeah, market cap 944 million. I mean, it's insane numbers, isn't it? When you think about the math. What else is interesting? I think that's probably it at the moment. Giffordware also launched. That was kind of a stealth launch from Pulsar, if I remember rightly. Giffordware, I think that's Pulsar related. They're coming to Pulsechain, aren't they? Yeah, oh, that's the wrong one. SolidX. I thought I was going into Gifford there. Gifford is up 12%. That's kind of launched recently as well. And that's looking pretty good too. 2300th of a penny. Not too bad there. It looks like it's at a high of 2500th of a penny there. So it's looking pretty good too. So well done to that team. And that's Gifford's. Giffordware. It is related to Pulsar. Yeah, Pulsar community. It is a side project for that. I guess their test project in their terms. And let's have a look at the contract quickly. No issues on the quick no issues there. All right, there is a sell tax 0.2% on that. So go to gold. And let's have a look at the website on that one, Gifford. And I think you can. What can you do here? Can you do anything with it? No, not at this stage. Not based on what I can see there. So that is some of the hot stuff. What's hot and not. So yeah, what we got there? Stable coins, meme coins are hot. Influencer coins are hot. You got to be careful out there. Jumping from one to one though, you got to know that the contract's safe. So make sure you do your due diligence on that before going crazy. That's all I would say about that. What else? Let's jump right here and don't get caught out by the Richard Hart tokens is what I'd say. Who knows what happened there? You could get left behind if you're not just using little DGM money and you're going out and using your core portfolio, which I don't recommend. Be careful out there. That's all I'm saying. Mo says PZN. Yeah, Gophers on Pulsechain. Your thoughts? Hey, look, Dipcatch is amazing, doing an amazing job out there. Gold Key. So yeah, Gophers killing it, crushing it, really, aren't they? Pulsechain, Ethereum, and Solana. They've got a really cool strategy going. They've done so much for the community. So I'm a huge supporter of them. PDI to $1,000 says faster dog. Why not? Why not faster dog? Why not? Eh? Hey, look, yeah, I mean, I saw some comments about RH may dump down on those stable coins, all sorts of stuff. You got people with the maker theory. There's all these competing narratives from people. But at the moment, the chart is telling us what's happening, and at the moment, it's targeting that 1 cent mark. So who knows where it could go? It's certainly fun to see. All right, I think we're coming up to 45 minutes on the live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it on this lazy Sunday in New Zealand and Australia and the Pacific Islands. Of course, I always like to mention them. They're out in the water there in the Pacific. And yeah, it's a Sunday here. We just came off daylight savings, and of course, I know it's still Saturday evening up in the northern hemisphere there, or Saturday afternoon. So I hope you guys are having a good time on your Saturday, partying up hardy. And yeah, get into our Discord. Links in the video description on that as well. Now, we're going to talk about one more thing. The Algo, PSD Algo. As you guys know, I'm really keen to have a proper algorithmic coin, the holy grail of DeFi. And Jacob's ecosystem has got one of those. Now, it still may not launch until the end of this year or something like that. It's just based on can they get the money and finish everything up. But they've done lots of testing, so they must be fairly advanced on a lot of it. And, of course, the sacrifice is open. So if you guys want to participate in that, get in the links in the video description. You get a 19% bonus getting in there, nice and early. And I think this thing could be absolutely massive for Pulsechain. That's why I really like Jacob to bring it forward. Maybe get some more influencers talking about it as well. Because I think this could be absolutely massive. Multiple income earner, massive stable coin. And of course, if you think Terra Luna did well, I think this is going to be the holy grail solution for that without any of the middlemen, without the back tokenomics, using full DeFi, stability miners and limit orders and things like that. It's going to be absolutely crushing it. Yeah, getting the links in the video description for that 90% bonus. If you do over $1,000 inclusive, you'll get access to the second bonus, which is bonus X. That will give you a bonus between 1.01 and 2X. So definitely check that out. Just as an example, you can see here, number 3 player here used a 19% referral. And of course, then they also did over $1,000 and they got a randomly assigned 1.71 bonus. You don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be somewhere between 1.01 and 2X. And of course, they ended up with effective sacrifice of $40,000. Now, this is the third biggest whale, of course, but $40,240. And they ended up, for every dollar they get 20 algo, 200 flex, and 0.01 wrap PUSD. Now, algo is like the Luna coin. That could be absolutely massive on Pulsechain. And of course, the stable coin is PUSD, which is the best branded stable coin name you could have in Pulsechain, PUSD. And of course, flex there, 200 flex, that is the incentive token. And of course, wrap PUSD is the reward token there. So I think it's going to be absolutely amazing and can't wait for it to launch. But once again, it needs to have $1 million reached, as I understand it, to make it viable, because it's got to set up 4 or so liquidity pools. 75% of all the money raised in the sacrifice is going to go straight back into the protocol day 1. So that's the only project that I know that's posted such a thing. I think there's another project that's kind of hinting at it, but that is the only one. 50% is going to go into the liquidity pools, got to set up at least 4 liquidity pools, and 25% straight into the stability miner, which is the secret source, the full DeFi mechanism for a stable algorithmic coin. Now, as I understand it, PUSD is also going to be linked to USDL, so it's going to have all the stability measures of USDL as well. So look forward to it, folks. Could scale big time, and with a modest capital raise, could be massive commercial upside. So I am super bullish about this and what it could do for Pulsechain. All right. The other thing is that a lot of the stable coins may end up, a lot bigger percentage of the stable coins could be moving around the Pulsechain ecosystem, as opposed to what we see in liquid loans and Power City Earn protocol. So it could be really huge. All right. Enough of that. Links in the video description. Get that 90% bonus today and tell your friends, as they say. All right. Yeah, now we're definitely finished up here. 47 minutes we are going to finish up today. I'm going to get into Discord, see you there. And don't forget to leave your comments after the live stream. Always appreciate that. And I'll get back to every comment if it's constructive, of course. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you again on the next live stream. Bye for now. All right. Let's play out some cool stuff on the way out. Let's do the Magic Carp Ride video because really it is my favorite video. Where is it though? There it is. All right. Peace out, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.